Luke 10, verse 12. But I say unto you that it shall be more tolerable in that day for Sodom than for that city. This justice, as mentioned in Luke 10, 10 and 11, is further explained in verse 12. But I say unto you that it shall be more tolerable in that day for Sodom than for that city. Think about what happened to Sodom. According to this verse, there will be less suffering, more endurable for Sodom than for that city. This should be scary for anyone who resists the plans of God. He exercises his plans through us, and when they are thwarted by the enemy of God, vindication is the result. Let us review what happened to Sodom so all will get a clear picture of the awesomeness of God, and that all must revere him or pay the consequences. He is the one to be revered, not some other god, for there are no other gods before him, and we must exercise our power and authority to demand that reverence to the glory of God. So what happened in Sodom? First of all, they resisted the plans of God and thus must pay the consequences for their choice. What was God's plan for Sodom? He wanted Sodom to be like Abraham and his children, which is to keep the way of the Lord, to do justice and judgment, as stated in Genesis 18:19. Let's take this verse and dissect it using the Greek concordance. Genesis 18:19. For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of him. Know means acknowledge, instruct. Command means to constitute, enjoin, charge, and set in order. Children mean nation as well as family. Household means family, temple. Keep means to guard, to protect, attend to, take heed, observe, preserve. Way means a road, figuratively a course of life or mode of action. Do means to make, accomplish, appoint, have the charge of, commit. Justice means rightness, subjectively rectitude, objectively justice, morally virtue, or figuratively prosperity, righteousness, to be right in a moral or forensic sense, cleanse. Judgments means a verdict, favorable or unfavorable, pronounced judicially, especially a sentence or formal decree, human or particularly divine law, individual or collectively, to judge, by implication to vindicate or punish, by extension to govern, avenge. Bring means to go or come, abide, bring forth, into pass. The word which means because, in order. The word spoken means to arrange, to speak, rarely in a destructive sense, to subdue, answer, appoint, command, declare. In summary, God instructed Abraham, and because of obedience, acknowledged that Abraham would set in order his house, that they may take heed, preserve God's course of life and mode of action. What was that course of life, mode of action? That he would accomplish, commit, have charge of, appoint, morally correct behavior and thinking, justice, moral virtue, prosperity, and righteousness. If this course of action is not obtained, then the consequences are judgment, vindication, punishment, and governance. As a result of preserving this, God would bring into pass and declare his promises to him. Does this not apply to the church today? Do we not represent the Abraham of today, especially when children represent a nation, according to the Greek Concordance? What did God promise Abraham that he would promise our countries? To be continued in Part 2.